Overseas direct investment and the liberalized remittance scheme are not interchangeable. In fact, one wrong assumption about how you send your money abroad can create months of paperwork, frozen corporate accounts, and massive RBI penalties. Hi, I am Ayush, and at JustStart, we handle complex cross-border compliance, legal structuring, and foreign direct investment for startups scaling globally. And today, I want to talk about one of the most dangerous and most common regulatory mistakes we see in the ecosystem. The question is, why do so many smart, capable founders constantly confuse ODI and LRS? The lines seem blurry when you are standing at the bank filing out a remittance form, but in the eyes of the Reserve Bank of India, these are two completely different universes. If you are planning to expand your business globally, set up a foreign subsidiary, or invest in an overseas startup, you cannot afford to get this wrong. Grab a notepad, let's decode this. The root of the problem lies in a very simple assumption. Many business owners assume that overseas investments can always happen under Liberalised Remittance Scheme or LRS rules. Why? Because LRS is heavily marketed by banks. As a resident Indian, LRS allows you to remit up to $250K, that is $2.5 lakh per financial year out of the country freely. Founders hear that $250K limit and think, great, I only need $50K to set up my company in Delaware or Dubai. I will just use LRS. But here is where the distinction lies. LRS is generally for purposes like funding your child's education abroad, covering travel expenses, or buying a few shares of Apple or Tesla on a trading app where you hold a tiny non-controlling fraction of the company. ODI, that is overseas direct investment, on the other hand, is about business and control. It applies when you are acquiring a stake in unlisted foreign entity, setting up a wholly owned subsidiary, entering into a joint venture, or acquiring enough shares in a foreign company to have a say in its management. Founders confuse the two because the two physical actions feel the same. You are instructing your bank to wire money out of India, but the regulatory code you attach to that wire transfer changes absolutely everything about your future compliance. Let me illustrate this with a real life scenario that we frequently have to fix for our clients. Now imagine a successful startup founder here in India. He decides that it is time to expand to the US market. He hires an online service to register a Delaware C Corp. Now he needs to wire $20K from India to his new US corporate bank account to fund the initial share capital and pay for some initial software subscriptions. He walks into his banks in India, fills out Form A2 and expects a simple process. He ticks the LRS box because it's his personal savings, and the bank teller, who might just be looking at $250K limit, processes it. The money hits the US account, the founder celebrates. Fast forward 6 months, the US company is doing well and he wants to bring in a foreign capital venture firm for funding. During the due diligence process, the VC's lawyers ask for his Indian ODI compliance record to prove he legally owns his share in the US company. He has nothing to show because he used the LRS instead of the proper ODI route. The RBI does not recognize his ownership of that foreign entity as valid. He failed to get a unique identification number from the RBI. Suddenly, his US funding round is paralyzed. Instead of closing a deal, he is now stuck dealing with the RBI for compounding of contraventions, a stressful, expensive process to admit his legal mistake and pay heavy penalties. And all because he ticked the wrong box at the bank. To ensure you never fall into this trap, you need to treat foreign remittances with absolute precision. Here is your 4-step playbook. Lesson 1. Identify whether the investment is personal or business. Be brutally honest about the intent of the funds. Are you buying a mutual fund abroad for your personal retirement? That is LRS. Are you sending money to operate a business, hire employees, or hold a strategic stake in a startup? That falls strictly under ODI. Lesson number 2. Understand the ownership thresholds. Under the FEMA regulations, if you are acquiring any share in an unlisted foreign company, it is classified as overseas direct investment. Furthermore, if you acquire 10% or more of the paid-up capital of a listed foreign entity, or if you gain control over it, like getting a board seat, your investment crosses the threshold from a simple portfolio investment into an overseas direct investment. Lesson 3. Always discuss the transaction before the remittance. Never wire the money first and ask questions later. Once the funds leave India under the wrong purpose code, reversing or correcting it is a regulatory nightmare. Sit down with your compliance partner, your CA or legal team to map out the exact forms and ports before you authorize the transfer. Lesson 4. Maintain complete documentation. ODI is not a one-time event. When you remit money under ODI, you must receive your share certificates within a strict timeline, usually 6 months, and submit them to your bank. Furthermore, you are required to file an APR, that is annual performance report, every single year to update the RBI on how your foreign company is doing. Keep these records spotless. Expanding your business beyond Indian borders is an incredible milestone. It proves your ambition and the quality of your product or service. But the RBI's foreign exchange rules do not forgive ignorance. Structuring your overseas investment correctly from day one is what separates a vulnerable startup from a global enterprise. If you are planning to incorporate a company abroad, looking to invest in a foreign startup, or if you have made a remittance mistake in the past that you need to rectify, do not navigate this maze alone. My team at JustStart handles end-to-end ODI and FDI compliance, ensuring your cross-border transactions are flawless and penalty-free. Reach out to us using the link in the description below to book a consultation. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button and subscribe for more insights on scaling your business the right way. Keep building and stay compliant. I will see you in the next one.